Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to another video here on Jacob's Aquarium. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope your tanks are doing good as well. And I hope you guys are enjoying my new redesigned website, jacobsaquarium.com. Today in this video, I have a plant guide for you guys. Yes, a plant guide. We haven't made one of these in a while. And some people have been requesting this. And of course, I want to make videos you guys want to watch. So if you request something in the comments, it may appear on the channel in a video. So the plant I'll be talking about today is called Contortion Val. This is one of the most popular plants on my website, pretty much because it's really easy to grow. It looks incredible. It has the spiraling, leaves. It has spiraling leaves on it. Pretty unique compared to most plants. It's not the most colorful. It's just a typical green aquarium plant color. But yeah, just all those things combined make this a really popular plant on my website. A lot of people like it. A lot of people want to know how to grow it and how it grows. And yeah, so I figured it'd be a great idea to make a plant guide for this plant. So that's the plant we'll be talking about today in this plant guide here on Jacob's Aquarium. So as with every plant guide, we'll be talking about how this plant grows, how to propagate it, the color you can expect out of this plant, and just a few helpful tips and tricks that I have learned over the years I've grown this plant in my tanks and of course in my 600-gallon aquatic plant system. So first, let's start with how to grow this plant. So Contortion Val is actually really easy to grow. I have yet to hear back from a customer that has killed this plant. It requires minimal nutrients, minimal light, minimal care basically. This plant is not one of those aquarium plants that heavily relies on CO2 or nutrients. I mean, it does like uptaking nutrients through its roots, so it is a root feeding plant, most definitely. Nutrient-rich substrate will help it, but it's definitely not required. You can grow this plant in just gravel or sand and simply rely on the waste from your fish to provide this plant with enough nutrients for it to grow. Of course, if it is planted in nutrient-rich substrate, it will grow extremely fast. Although it does grow really fast, even without nutrient substrate or nutrient-rich substrate. So it's just one of those plants that like can thrive in a million different conditions in many different aquariums. It's very easy to grow. So minimal light, minimal care. You don't need to worry about having anything really too high-tech on your aquarium when growing this plant. Next, let's talk about color. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you can't really expect red, yellow, orange, any extravagant color with Contortion Val. It is just one of those traditional green aquarium plants. Although, I will say this, okay? Under really bright light, like out here in the greenhouse, under natural sunlight all day, my Contortion Val turns a really nice, deep, dark green color. But I've noticed when you grow Contortion Val in a tank under low light, the color is a little bit more of like a faded, lighter green, okay? So as far as color, that's really what you can expect. It just depends on the lighting conditions. I truly believe, this is just my opinion, that nutrients or anything don't play a role in the color of this plant. Of course, as far as health-wise, it does. As with every plant, if a plant's not getting enough nutrients or something like that, you'll start seeing yellow coloration, which means the plant is dying. The plant will start to just deteriorate, things like that. But the yellow coloration is in regards to its health, not the plant itself and the color it produces. So yeah, that's really what you can expect. Under high light, a really dark green color. Under low light, a really light green color. And that's another thing I wanted to mention really quick, is that this plant is actually very versatile. You can grow this plant in a high-tech tank or in a low-tech tank. It won't die under high light or CO2 or anything like that. It's a very versatile plant. That's really all I can say about this plant. I can't stop saying that, as a matter of fact. I've grown this plant in so many tanks and it's just thrived in every single tank that I've grown it in. So as far as color though, that's what you can expect. All right, next let's talk about propagation. And I'm actually gonna go back to the first topic that I was discussing, which is how to grow this plant, because it kind of relates to how you propagate this plant as well. So I'm gonna kind of mix up the two. But anyways, Contortion Val is a really easy plant to propagate. It doesn't require any splicing, it doesn't require any laboratory tools. Going a little overboard there. It doesn't require anything special. Contortion Val grows by producing runners, and if you don't know what runners are basically just parts of the plant that creep along the substrate. So what will happen with Contortion Val is it'll shoot out a root-looking structure, and then a plant will develop after that root-looking structure, that's what I like to call it, grows a certain length, and so on and so forth. It'll just keep going and going and going. And if you haven't already guessed, you can actually grow a really nice looking carpet of this stuff over time, because the way it grows as a running type plant. It's running towards the finish line that it'll never see. This plant will just continue to grow and grow and grow. So as far as propagating it, it's very simple. You can just cut those runners off and plant them wherever you'd like. And even the original plant that produced the runner will produce another runner and just keep growing and growing and growing. You can cut as many runners as you want off of the original mother plant, and it will not stop growing. And I say that with 100% certainty because I grow this plant myself. This is the plant that I don't have to order anymore from any of my suppliers, just because it grows so fast and it's so easy to propagate, you know. And I've done this myself as far as cutting runners off the mother plant many times. And the mother plant just continues to produce runners over and over and over again. I mean, once it's established, you can just get so many individual Contortion Val plants out of one plant. So that's a really great thing for somebody like me that's in the plant business. It helps me save a lot of money as far as you know, keeping inventory in stock, because without this plant and the way it grows and how fast it grows and how easy it is to propagate, I'd have to buy this plant all the time from my wholesalers because it is so popular, and it would cost me a lot more money, thus, you know, cutting into my profits, which from a business standpoint, that's never good, right? You want to make as much money as possible. That's the goal with any business, right? I mean, there's no shame in that. So yeah, this plant is really nice, and it helps me a lot because it just grows so fast. I can keep this plant in stock all the time, have it available for my customers, and my customers are really thankful that I grow it myself as well, because they can expect a really great quality plant because it's grown here at the nursery and shipped fresh from the grower. It's nothing that's been ordered, you know, shipped and then shipped again and gone through all that stress. You know, it's coming fresh from the grower, me. All right, and last but not least, I just wanted to give you guys a few helpful tips and tricks that I've learned after growing this plant for so many years in many different tanks. So first and foremost, I gotta say that you can't grow this plant with goldfish or cichlids. You know, even though it is a really low maintenance plant, you know you can grow it in a gravel only tank with, you know, goldfish or whatever. The goldfish will tear this plant apart. It's not a plant that's too sturdy when it comes under you know, war from other fish. Cichlids will tear this plant apart because they like to dig. Goldfish will tear this plant apart because they just like to nip at everything. So this is an aquarium plant that is super easy to grow, but cannot grow with, you know, really simple, you know, tropical fish or goldfish. It really is best grown with smaller fish, you know, maybe gouramis, swordtails. Although they're nippy, they can't really hurt this plant too much because their mouths are just too small and they're not strong enough. So smaller fish are best with this plant. Nothing really too big like goldfish or catfish or anything like that. So just keep that in mind, okay? And another thing too, as I mentioned before, this plant, you know, grows as a running type plant, you know. So if you just let this thing go in your aquarium, you don't touch it for a while, you can actually get a really thick carpet of this stuff. And if you let it carpet the whole bottom of your tank, I think it would just look incredible. And, you know, pair that with some really tall stem plants, since this plant does, you know, it has an average height of maybe, I would say, 5-6 inches once it's established. So if you pair it with some really tall stem plants in the background and just leave the Contortion Val for the foreground to carpet out, I think that'll look so cool in an aquarium. But I have yet to see somebody try this out there. So if any of you have grown a carpet of Contortion Val, let me know. Send me some pictures, and I might just show those pictures or videos, if you want to send me videos, in a future video here on Jacob's Aquarium, because I would love to see how this plant looks growing out as a carpet in a planted tank. I kind of do that here at the nursery, but I can never keep a full carpet of the stuff because I'm always picking plants off of it from my customers or for my customers. So I have yet to see something like that. So let me know if you guys are doing something like that. I'd love to see it. So that pretty much does it for this plant guide here on Jacob's Aquarium. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, you can take a hike. If you guys are in the market for aquarium plants, visit jacobsaquarium.com, where I have over 60 different species of plants to choose from, including Contortion Val, all reasonably priced. jacobsaquarium.com is the website. It's newly redesigned. It looks great, by the way. I worked so hard on it. Once again, thank you guys for all your positive comments. I really appreciate that. On my previous video where I did a tour of the whole new website. And also, don't forget to check me out on Facebook, YouTube, if you're watching this video somewhere else, Instagram and Twitter. All my social media links will be in the description below, okay? Hope you guys are having a great day. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. Have fun with your tanks, and I will see you next time.